Hey, thanks for stopping by the channel. It is Saturday, May 7th, 2 p.m. and I'm getting ready to get out of here. It's gonna be a short one. I don't know if you can tell, but it's quite windy. It's been that way since, well, most of the week. So, the weather has been interesting. Okay, so I'm all packed up, ready to go. All in all, it's been a okay trip. It wasn't nearly as bad as last year's trip in March. It was a horrible trip and the weather absolutely sucked. Yeah, it's just blasting wind right now. That thing is just jamming. Anyways, okay, so if you guys are not following the AZ Off-Grid Facebook page, you have not seen this yet, but I did go ahead and get the chimney installed. I don't know, I gotta say, it's the Duravent brand. I gotta say the instructions are pretty crappy, especially the through the wall. The pipe and everything, that's all easy, but this little box right here, this little setup, not the greatest. Kind of had to figure it out. I know the chimney looks high enough, but it's actually not. That chimney cap is only about, I don't know, 10 inches above the peak of the roof, which is hard to tell from this angle, but so I'm gonna have to take that up a little bit further, a couple more feet. And I have the extra chimney pipe here for it. I just don't have the strap to tether it to the roof. And with as windy as it is here, I don't want something that long sticking up there with no support. So that's how it's gonna stay for now. Now let's go inside. All right, so there's my tile saw that I finally got to use. It's the rigid, it's a 7-inch saw. It works really nice. It cuts like butter. The only issue I had, here's part of the tile right here. That's some cuts that I did, but the only issue I had with the tile on the saw is there's several pieces that I had to cut lengthwise, and when you set that on the rolling tray, even on its furthest most back position, the edge of the tile, just like a 1/4 inch of it, was too long for the saw. But luckily the saw has an up and down, kind of like a chop adjustment. And I just brought it up, it cleared the tile, and then started cutting into it, and then slid the tray forward. Worked just fine. It was just a little cumbersome. But those are large tiles. I don't know, what are those, 2 feet? At least 2 feet long. Maybe a little bit longer than that. Anyways, so nothing is already attached. It's just a mock-up right now. But this is what we're going with. And that's just set in place. It's nothing secured, but man, does it look good. That's just leaning up against there because otherwise it'll fall over. Okay, so the difficulty with this kind of tile that looks like rock is all 4 sides, well, have this wavy pattern all the way around. That's cool because it gives you somewhat of a seamless transition. There will be a light seam here, which I'll just throw some light grout into, and you probably won't even hardly notice it. But the difficulty with cutting tile like that, especially with angles like this, you don't have straight edges to measure off of to get your cuts. Everything's all wonky. So I had to use cardboard as a template to kind of fudge it a little bit just to get my measurements. It was a pain in the butt. I still have to do that corner. I'm gonna actually come back with some tracing paper because it was becoming a headache getting these cuts in. Like, I don't know if you can see it with the light, but here's the edge of this tile right here, and then it goes that way. Just this little thing right here, and to get it to match up flush with the front of my tile was a total pain in the butt. You always cut a little long, and then you can come back and slice it to fine tune it later. This piece was a big pain in the butt. But once I get that corner done, going up the backs of the walls will be real fast, real easy, because they're all straight cuts. You have a solid piece up the middle, and then a partial here and a partial there. But yeah, it's gonna look badass. There's the inside of the chimney through the wall kit. Not too bad. A little interesting getting it to fit together on the inside there, but other than that, it's coming along nicely. I didn't get to finish the cement board because my last full sheet of cement board had a micro crack in it. I didn't know it, and it cracked about 2/3 of the way down the entire sheet. And I want a full strip here. I don't want to do you know, I've got plenty of scraps to cover all of this, but I don't want to seam on a 2x4. Whoops. Stuff's falling down. I don't want to seam on a 2x4 with cement board anyways. It just, the edges will crack when you screw into them. So I'll have to come back with another sheet of that to finish that off. But this is going to look really nice when it's done. Let me open this door to get a little more light in here. That is going to look super nice when it's done. And we're only going to have very little grout just on the corners here, and then around the top edge, in the back corner there, and then on the sides here. Very little grout, so super, super cool. I'm loving it. My wife loves the way it's coming out. It's a pain in the butt, but man, does it look good. So, okay, the wind is just going crazy. I mean, there's dust and stuff blowing all over the place. It is just ridiculous. So that's how it's been. Like, over half the trip was like this. Matter of fact, Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday was actually really beautiful out here. Very little wind, awesome temperatures, clear skies. It was amazing. The last 3 days of my stay here were amazing. But most of the other days were pretty horrible as far as the weather goes. So, dog's already in the truck, chilling out on her dog bed. I'm just gonna lock up here and get out of here. So, man, is it going crazy. Okay, guys. All this wind and dust and pollen and everything else is my cue to get the heck out of here because my allergies are already ramping up again. So, you guys take care, be safe, and we'll see you in the next video.